Well, hello there. Let me get this camera on. So I'm going to treat this Bob's walkie-talkie video as a Bob's Utopia video. And I'm doing that for two reasons. One is I kind of miss making Bob's Utopia videos. And two is after 20 years of working on YouTube videos and doing them all on iMovie, I finally made the jump to some real movie making software. Final Cut Pro, built for Mac. And I gotta fool around with that software because Google changed things, and I want to find I can't talk. I want to find a way to burn the captions onto the video instead of using what I was always doing before, the closed captions on YouTube. So that was the main impetus for doing this, for downloading software, and that's the main two reasons why I'm doing this in the style of Bob's Utopia. So what I'm going to do is run the theme music and the title here, and now into the content, followed by, at the end, a montage. Ready? All right, let's go. Start with this. I wonder, today's topic is retirement. Start with this. I wonder where all the people I used to work with are right now. And I wonder this because as I wander around town, I do not want to bump into them. There's one thing I miss about working, and I don't miss it very much. Not enough to make me want to go back to work. But I miss the strange and random interactions that I used to have with colleagues, supervisors, customers, with people essentially. Working for a living forces you to get out there and deal with the realities of society on a daily basis. And that's a challenge. And I think it's safe to say that's a challenge that I miss. But like I said, not enough to ever want to go back and do it all again. Been there, done that, bought the T-shirt. So now that I'm old and retired, I have a new problem, and that is that I don't like associating with my own kind. And that means when I'm in Taiwan, I don't like associating with other foreigners in Taiwan. And that means when I'm retired, I don't like associating with other retired people. I am so hard to get along with. I don't identify myself with my main group. I always want to be outside the group, maybe on the fringes of the group. That's my problem, not yours. Often we resent in other people what we see in ourselves, or what we don't see in ourselves. So if there's something about someone's personality you don't like, maybe you're just like that. That's a humbling thought. We can never really see the big picture because we're in the middle of it. It's like that old bit about traffic. Next time you complain about being stuck in traffic, next time you complain about being stuck in traffic, just remember, you are traffic. Retirement is a dream job. One where the weeks fly by and you find yourself saying, it's the weekend again? That happens to me all the time. Retirement is a dream job. One where you don't have to get up before you want to. Then you don't have to check your email. You don't have to do anything. You can make bacon and a pot of coffee and sit on the front porch and watch the world come alive and do productive things. Retirement's a dream job where you don't have to deal with bullshit in any way, shape, or form. Let's go down this way. You don't have to listen to stupid jargon. I hate jargon. Industry jargon. And it seemed to me that the higher the management level that my so-called superiors attained, the less clear they became because of jargon, because of their use of jargon. Used to make me crazy. Retirement's a dream job where you get paid, but not very much. But you don't have to do anything. Let's go this way. Knowing this really takes the pressure off. You're gonna get paid no matter what you do. You just gotta stay alive. Your main job in retirement is staying alive, spending all your money. That's a job that I'm gonna have to practice at for a long time. I have to watch myself when I'm walking in parking lots. This is a tank. Well, some kind of army vehicle. Retirement is a dream job, a job where you wear whatever you want, even if it's an old T-shirt that you bought in Memphis, home of Elvis and the ancient Greeks. I've been digging through my summer collection, all my old T-shirts. I only wear T-shirts. T-shirts are one of the simplest and useful articles of clothing a retired person can have. In retirement, you don't really have to accomplish anything. I accomplish very little on most days. My accomplishments are hard to measure, and not because of the input, more because of the output. That doesn't make any sense. Look at that. I can stick my camera to a bridge. True fulfillment comes from experiencing life's simple pleasures, not ticking things off a to-do list. It's common knowledge that we only use about 5% of our brain's thinking power. It's also well known that we only work to about 40% of our true potential. So basically we're lazy. But we're built that way on purpose. I remember reading about this one time in I don't know, maybe it's a psychology book, talking about how we basically sleep for 8 hours or 10 hours a day. And part of the theory is that it saves us from walking around and potentially walking off the side of a cliff or something. We only need 16 hours a day to get all the necessary things needed for our survival. So we get 8 hours to shut down and recharge. Being retired means you got to think about money. It's not your money. Well, it's kind of your money. Kind of the government's money too. In Canada we have CPP, the Canadian Pension Plan. And you can start collecting it at 60, or you can wait and start collecting it at 70. The longer you wait, the more you can collect. And there's a kind of a break-even point. So you kind of have to think, well, how long do I expect to live? And of course, unless you, like me, and you've been to fortune tellers who have told you that you're going to live to be 88, then you have to either decide if you're a pessimist or you're an optimist. And truth be told, most Canadians are pessimists because the average age apparently is 62 to start collecting CPP. That seems a little young. But in my own personal circle of friends and relatives, I actually think that's a little low. Most people I know started at 60 or even before. Well, they can't before, but they retired before. On most days, I accomplish very little. When I was working for a living, We used to say, if it matters, it can be measured. As a retired person, I have to think the opposite is true. You can't really measure what really matters. I'll go back home and jump in the pool. That's the littlest car I've ever seen. Looks like a Chinese car. A little electric jobby. Well, I guess that's it. Roll the montage.